tell us something about your musical background? Did you have some idol or idols whose example you followed
Yeah,
back when?
yeah. I had a few fellows that I had in mind when I was very small that I got a lot out of, you know. I used to be around Caledonia, New Zealand a lot, and they had, well, all the musicians would come there. It's like the big theaters out here. So I had a chance to always hang around the door and meet the fellows and greet them. And I met a fellow once they called Sullivan Rock, an outstanding blues player. And Stormy Weathers, an outstanding channel man, wrist and elbow and shoulder work. And Toots was a very strong man with fingers on piano. He was a piano player. And I've also just met people that would always give me impressions about music that I could just put together, and I considered being a gumbo. So I mixed all of these things into one, and I made a gumbo out of them. The same as Dr. John doing today. He came up behind me, so I taught him what little bit that I know, the same as I learned from others. And my teachers was very fond. I mean, very, very, very popular musicians.
And that's how you started.
That's how I started out.
Why did you choose the blues and the
Well, at
piano?
that time, the blues was selling with the public. Wasn't many records out at that time, but the public was buying music personally, just listening to it. So I considered if I would play the blues, I might could get up and make a living, a job rather, you know. And that's what decided me to want to play the blues because jazz, then it wasn't too much. It was mostly Dixieland and blues, ballads, sentimental, instrumentals. And the fellows that did play the blues was the ones that was working then. So that's the route I took, you know, for working. But I was dancing before this, but it wasn't very much money in it, you know. Work was really what was interesting me in, so. And my health wasn't very always good, you know. So I decided I would take up music if I was able to do so. And so I'm thankful I made it.
Yes. When and where did you pick up this name, Professor Longhair?
Well, I picked that name up around in 1949 when I started to teaching other guys to how to sit in and fill in with me on the things that I was arranging and creating and writing, you know. So some of the guys would call me Fist. Some would call me Longhair because my hair was much longer then. I was younger. And the name just got together some kind of a way. And from there on, I just kept it Professor Longhair.
In your music, you have not stuck to completely pure blues, if you don't mind the expression.
No, really, I don't just play really the stomp down blues. But I play rock, rhythm and blues. Yeah. Had to put a little rhythm in it, you know. Well, I used to be all around out in Colorado and Phoenix and Arizona, and I met up a lot of fellow boys out there, musicians. Some of them was all Mexican, Spanish, Hungarians, and all type of musicians. And I happened to pick one fellow out the bunch, and he wasn't Hungarian. And I chose him because he was a drummer, it's Al Miller, never forget him. And I learned a lot of different calypso beats from him, you know, and off styles and off beats, and all that helped me too, you know, because at that time in '49 I was creating right on. So I got to play the different styles that I do, calypso, rumble.
You are using these different styles. Do you think blues as itself does not belong to the era of modern music?
No, I wouldn't say that. I believe any type of music that you can feel and express is worth having.